Recently, we showed you this track. And we showcased 5 ways to create section transitions. But what about this transition? Or this one?
The approaches to making transitions which we showed you last time were fairly straightforward and provided great ways to elevate a track and make it sound complete. Today, we're adding 3 more techniques to your toolbox. These are more intricate, sophisticated, and we even use some music theory to pave our way to success.
The first transition we want to talk about is the effect we foreshadowed in the previous episode of the series, a reverse effect. Listen to this intro.
We simply use the first few moments of our bass track, the first chord of our keys and guitar, and the first note of the bell, and then reverse them. Easy, right? Reverse effects have a similar function to the uplifters we mentioned in the last episode, and they build energy gradually. However, as you create these yourself from your production elements, they can gel with your track perfectly and function as a way to introduce a soundscape to the listener.
In order to create a convincing reverse effect, we need to keep a few things in mind. First of all, the element we want to reverse should have some sort of tail, such as a reverb tail. Because of this, we added some extra subtle reverb to our elements before bouncing them to audio and reversing them. Finally, we added a cool effect to our reverse sample, a tremolo. Listen to how it sounds before and after. You can play with a variety of effects on reverse transitions such as panning, phasing, distortion, and many more.
But there are more ways you can utilize reverse effects.
Remember this section right here? We used it as an example for removing elements in the last episode, however this sudden change is strengthened by this. This is a reverse clap, and we often use it to introduce a change in a smooth manner. We use the same effect in our chorus transition.
And we will talk more about the chorus, but first, let's take a closer look at the pre-chorus.
Most of the techniques we mentioned today and last time were quite flashy and utilized various effects. However, similarly to how we can utilize arrangement for smart transitions, we can also use the harmony and chord movements.
We've talked in detail about chord function in our chord series, and these come in handy for our pre-chorus here too.
As you may have noticed, our pre-chorus chord progression is different from the chord progression in the chorus and the verse. This way we introduce change and ensure a good amount of variation both in the instrumental as well as in the top line. However, introducing this type of change always comes with one challenge. How do we get back?
For this we need to look at the first chord of our chorus, which in our case is the root chord of E minor. We're using Roman numerals here, and if this is a new concept to you, we highly recommend you give our chord series a watch first. Those of you who have already seen it may remember that the 5th chord strongly wants us to resolve back to the root, so this is exactly how we end our pre-chorus.
But what about transitioning into the pre-chorus? We actually start our pre-chorus progression with the same chord as the verse and introduce the change with the 2nd chord. This way, the verse chord progression transitions smoothly into the pre-chorus.
But enough complicated music theory talk. Let's talk about the transition you have been most curious about.
Fills can serve many different purposes, be it ear candy or transition, and are often a flashy element which truly elevates a production. However, some more subtle fills can also be integrated right into the core drum groove of a track. Let's break it down.
In trap-based genres, we often use short percussive elements, in our case a snare, to enhance the bounce of the groove.
This short sample allows us to utilize rolls, which are quite easy to make in Logic. Simply load up your sample, create a pattern sequence, and change the note repeat. This is how it sounds on our track.
Gradually pitching down the sample can also make a great fill, which can once again be done very fast in Logic.
What's important to mention is that fills don't have to be complicated. For example, here we have additional kicks. And here we have a double clap layered with a kick supported by a reverse lead-in. Simple, but very effective.
We also want to note the importance of elements such as an open hat or a cymbal. We utilize an open hat to release the tension right after our 3 fills.
Now listen to the verse 1A into verse 1B transition and see how much variation all these little things add to an otherwise completely identical drum groove.
Enjoying the video so far? Don't forget to like it and subscribe for more content like this. Make sure to ring the bell so you don't miss a video, and it helps us a lot. Now, back to our track.
Finally, we have to talk about the flashiest fills out there. These can be quite literally anything. Bass fills, melodic fills, fills that are based on samples, and of course various drum fills. Moreover, you can play with various effects here too. Filtering, phasing, distortion, just to name a few, and of course the one that we all know and love, panning.
Now let's break down the fill we used in our chorus. First, we add extra distortion to it with an amp, and then we pan it. But that's not the only thing we do.
We are using even more distortion, this time automated, to slowly increase the amount. At the same time, we have a filter open up.
If you need some extra help or simply want to take your production and songwriting to the next level fast, you can book a free orientation session from the link below. Spots are limited, so don't miss out. Now, with all this knowledge, let's listen to our full instrumental. Can you spot every single technique we talked about? Let us know in the comments below.
Thank you for being with us throughout the series, and if you want to support us even more, you can subscribe to our coffee and receive extra goodies and discounts in return. We are greatly appreciative of our amazing coffee supporters, as they are the ones who are making this content possible in the first place. But for now, see you in the next video.